What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So I want to show you this clip. They're talking about Social Security here. So Social Security potential data breach. And I want to talk about this for two different reasons. One, we kind of knew that if you have people tinkering with sensitive information, it could get out there. And then also I want to talk about a personal story that actually happened to me, and I'm just doing a follow-up. So I talked about this before. I'll have a link at the end of this video so you can check it out. But my identity was stolen, and this could potentially be the reason why my identity was stolen. And I'll talk a little bit about how that happened. I'll give you a brief overview, but I want to show you this clip first, and then we'll talk a little bit about it. Here we go.
Security breach at the Social Security Administration involving our most personal data. This was something that was not only predictable, but it was predicted by Democratic lawmakers and also a whistleblower who tried for months to get attention.
A whistleblower inside the Social Security Administration says DOJ employees created a copy of the records of more than 300 million Americans and put that data on a vulnerable server. CNN's Matt Egan joins me now with this new reporting. So what more is in this complaint from the whistleblower?
This stunning whistleblower complaint, it's not coming from some low-level employee. It's coming from the chief data officer at the Social Security Administration. He alleges that among the critical data that was stored in this vulnerable cloud server, it includes people's names.
So it was on a cloud server, or it is on a cloud server. I'm guessing that it's still there. So yes, a cloud server can be hacked, because it's not, in a physical place where there's protections behind it, and it's just out on the internet. And so just amazing how this could happen. We could allow DOJ to come in, get sensitive information on 300 million people, which is pretty much almost everyone in the US, and then be able to put it on a cloud server where other entities, other countries could have access to it.
Their social security numbers, their dates of birth, their addresses, citizenship status, even their parents' names, all of it stored in this cloud server. Whistleblower.
Now, and look at this. So names, social security numbers, date of birth, address, all of this. And I'm going to go back to this at the end of this video when I talk about how my identity was stolen, because if you have all of this information, you can do things with that.
Here says that the copy of the database apparently lacks any security oversight from the agency or even tracking to determine who has access. And he wrote in this complaint, should bad actors gain access to this cloud environment, Americans may be susceptible to widespread identity theft.
All of our personal information, all of it, was uploaded to an insecure cloud server by the teenagers that Elon Musk and Donald Trump allowed to be in charge of our most sensitive personal information. And here's the thing. This guy has been sounding the alarm for months. No one paid attention. Guess who else has been sounding the alarm for months? Democratic lawmakers. I've talked to them. Listen to this.
What is happening with our personal data under Elon Musk and DOJ?
So one of the things that, again, months ago really blew up the phones in my office was the news that they were, again, rummaging through the Social Security Administration, which, again, has data on every single American, right, from really birth to end of life. They want to create a centralized database of all sort of government information on every American, which is, again, the opposite of really what anybody who's a cyber expert tells you is the best way to protect privacy.
Right. So is this the biggest data breach in American history?
It is.
The biggest data breach in American history, and it could have been stopped. The whistleblower knew it was going to happen. Democratic lawmakers knew it was going to happen. But guess who didn't care? Donald Trump and the Trump administration, because they're too busy tearing this country apart to protect your data. And guess who's going to end up paying to reissue those hundreds of millions of Social Security numbers? The American taxpayers. That is waste, fraud, and abuse none of you should tolerate. America, we deserve better.
Okay, so that was vote in or out on TikTok. Now, this is interesting because you have this DOJ, outside agency. Understand, this is not a government agency. And that's the reason why Elon Musk, he stepped aside after a period of time, because it's an outside agency. And if they wanted to make it a part of the federal government, Congress would actually have to make that happen. So let's talk a little bit about this. So you have this cloud. So you have all this sensitive information, over 300 million people, their identity is on this cloud server. And on this cloud server, someone could hack into the cloud server. Not to mention, there was no real chain of custody. And so, I worked in law enforcement. Okay, I'm retired now, but I worked in law enforcement. And one of the things that was critical in our job was the chain of custody. We always talked about the chain of custody. Anytime you had evidence or anytime you had anything that was sensitive, there was a chain of custody. And so if I received a document, I signed off on that document saying that I received it. That way, everyone knows that I had access to that, if it's evidence and things like that, because some of this information can go into a court of law and you needed to be able to follow it to make sure everyone was doing the right thing. But when you have a situation like this, where there's no chain of custody, where people can gain access to it and you don't even know who those people are, that's a huge problem. Now, I want to go over my situation, just give you a brief overview. Like I said, I did a full video on this. I'll have it linked at the end of this video so you can check it out. But someone stole my identity and they signed up for a credit card, and they were able to get that credit card, and they ran that credit card up. $14,850 they ran up on that credit card. And then I was able to catch it. And the reason that I caught it is only because I had credit monitoring. And so I saw that someone opened up an account. It was in May. And I'm thinking, I haven't opened up an account in over 2 years. So how could this be possible? And so I looked into it further, called the number that was provided in my credit report. And sure enough, someone signed up for a credit card, and they were using that credit card. Now, if you think about it, when you sign up for a credit card, you need information. You need my name, you need my address, you need my social security number, and all of that, it seems, was in the cloud. All of that was accessible. And so could a hacker have gotten into that cloud without anyone knowing and pulled out a lot of that information, and now they put it on the dark web and people are out there buying this information and signing up for credit cards? Very, very possible. I've never been in a situation before where I've had someone sign up for a credit card. I've had fraud before. I've had someone, if I had a debit card, I've had someone use my debit card before, but that is a little bit different because they're just using the debit card that I have. This person, they signed up and was approved for a credit card. So they had to have that information. And even a step further, when you sign up for credit cards and things like that, they do these like identities. So they want to verify your identity. And so they ask you a series of different questions. Where did you live in 10 years ago or 15 years ago? And what's your mother's maiden name and all of this stuff. And so they potentially could have had that information as well in order to sign up for this credit card. And I'm saying all of this to basically say this. Right now, things are really crazy. And if I were you, I would freeze your credit. Okay, there are ways to do it. I will show you. I'll have a link at the end of this video in the comment section. It'll be pinned at the very top. There'll be a link to all of the 3 major credit bureaus. You can freeze your account. And I didn't know anything about this. I did it after I found out that someone stole my identity, because if they have all my information, they can easily sign up for another credit card. And when you freeze your credit, basically what it's doing is it's not allowing anyone to sign up for credit cards or a mortgage or buy a car or anything like that. And that will save you, because now you're not going to have people that are going to be, have these credit cards. Because what you have to understand is I had credit monitoring, and that's the reason that I caught it. But if I didn't have credit monitoring, I wouldn't have caught it until after the fact. Now I owe $14,850, and I have creditors that are calling me saying, hey, you owe this money. Why aren't you paying it? And I'm thinking, what are you talking about? And that would have been a real bad situation when it comes to my credit, because my credit could have been dinged because of that. Okay, so if I were you, the times that we're in right now, I would definitely freeze your credit. And then you can easily lift it. So let's say you're going to go buy a car. You can lift that freeze temporarily while you buy your car. And then after you buy the car, then you can freeze it again. Same thing if you want to sign up for a new credit card. You can unfreeze it, sign up for the credit card, and then freeze it again. It just protects you, because we just don't know what's going on right now. It's the safest way to go about it when it comes to your credit. And you want to protect your credit. I've been really working on protecting my credit. I have very, very good credit, and I want to keep it that way. And the only way that you can really do that is by really watching your credit, making sure there's nothing fraudulent going on with your credit, freeze your credit accounts. I think that's the best way to go about it. But I want to know if you guys had any experience like this. Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye. So that's all we have for this video. Make sure if you guys want to send me an email, you can do that, david@thetecshow.com. Like the video, subscribe for more, and check out these videos over here for some more great content. Talk to you later. Bye.